Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the another tutorial video. In this video, we're gonna discuss about the QGIS, basically quantum GIS, which is an open source geospatial software, GIS software, which anybody can download and start using it. So this is basically an option for the ESRI ArcGIS. As you must be knowing, ESRI ArcGIS is basically is not free, is a proprietary software. So if you are looking for an option other than ArcGIS, ESRI open source option, so QGIS is basically a very good option for you. And if you are a newbie in GIS and you're just starting in the GIS field and geospatial field, so this tutorial video will definitely help you, because this video, as in the title you can see, this is basically the absolute beginner guide for the QGIS. So for that, first of all, you need to download and install the software. So before moving in, I'm going to show you that this is the overview of the video. So first of all, we're going to see how to install QGIS. Then we're going to see what is the overview of the GUI, basically the QGIS interface. Then we're going to see how to work with the vector data such as polygon, line, point, how to style them, how to export the vector data, and then how to create a vector data, such as you want to create a new data for you vector data, such as shape files. After that, we're going to see how to work with the raster data and how to do the raster calculation, and finally how to create a map in QGIS. This is basically a very basic beginner guide for the QGIS. So if someone is new in the GIS and just diving into the GIS field, then this video is definitely for you. So first of all, we will go on Google and type QGIS. So there will be option for download. Just click on the download. As you can see here, if you just scroll down, there will be option of downloading QGIS standalone installer version 3.18. One is for 64-bit, one is for 32-bit. So you can download according to your machine. Like my machine is 64-bit, so I will download. So it will start downloading. But I have already downloaded, so I will cancel it. You can download this. It is around 391 MB. So here is my installer. So I will just uh, go there and double click. So now just you have to do next. You have to click on I agree. Then it will ask you the destination folder where you want to install the QGIS. By default, it will install in program files. You may change this also according to your need. And then it will ask for your option that select component to install. You can basically it will download some few of the sample data. So either you may download or you may not download, depends on it. So I will not basically download, otherwise it will take some time. In your case, you can check on that and it will download some of the sample vector and raster data. Just click on install. So it may take some time to install. I think 5 to 7 minutes it will take. So as you can see, our QGIS 3.18.2 has been installed. After successfully installing the QGIS, you will be able to see a folder on the desktop. There will be a folder called QGIS 3.18. You just go in that folder and just double click the icon QGIS desktop 3.18.2. So it will open the QGIS GUI for you, graphic user interface for you. So now this is the graphic user interface for the QGIS. And for the when you open the first time, it will ask you the project, so you can click on the new empty project. So this is your map panel. This bigger rectangle is the map panel. Your data will be loaded in this panel. This is a browser where you can browse your geospatial data, wherever you kept your data in your desktop, or that you want to access the data from the server, from the database, so you can access from here. This is your layer panel. Whatever data you will add to the map will show inside the layer, the name and everything. Like, and this is your basically tools, all the tools such as zoom in, zoom out. So first of all, I'll show you this browser. Basically, like, I have data in my E drive. So you go in E drive, then I have a folder called QGIS tutorial, and I have district shapefile, so I can drag this here. So now this data will open. This is the vector data, and here the name of the layer. You can switch on, switch off, you can right click, you can open the attribute table from here. So this is the, I'll explain this in the next part of the tutorial. So this is your browser, this is your, and also if you want to access data from some other source, such as you have data in database, like I have already, I will delete this connection first. This is PostGIS database. So you have to create a connection to the database, then you can add your data from the uh, PostGIS database. If you have data in MySQL, Oracle, so you can, if you have data in some remote server such as GeoServer, Map Server, so you can add WMS styles, you can add WFS, you can from Arc also you can add your data. That I will tell you in the later part of the tutorial. This part I will only explain about the GUI. So, and here you can, if you go on the view, you can basically switch on, switch off the various panels, such as two panels, browser and layers are already on. One more very important panel is processing toolbox. So this toolbox, processing toolbox, contains various geoprocessing options for you, where you can use this for processing your geographic data, such as clipping, such as reprojecting and layer stacking and everything. Like this is for raster analysis, okay, raster calculator and everything. Then there is terrain analysis, then vector analysis, okay, vector creation. So a whole lot of tools are there. You can search also, such as a file search clip, so you can double click this, so it will open that tool. So it is similar to what ArcGIS is having toolbox. So these are the basically major 2-3 toolbox, and also similarly you can switch on, switch off these tools. Like there are zoom in, this is zoom in, for this zoom out, this is for zoom to maximum extent, it will zoom to the maximum extent of all the data present. Then this is information, if you click here it will give you the information about the feature. Here this is the information, this is the attributes, and whole lot of features are there. Okay, this pan, you can pan the map. This is for vector editing. If you click on this, you can edit, basically you can edit a particular feature, okay. So like this, switch on, switch off, you can switch on, switch off editing anytime. So you can switch on another toolbar, such as I will open snapping toolbar. So this is the snapping toolbar, it has switched on. Similarly, if you want to switch off, you can switch off. So according to your need, you can basically switch on and switch off all the toolbars here. Okay. Like another important tool I want to explain is plugin. Like QGIS have a large number of third-party plugin where you can download those plugin and use. Like such as classification, QGIS does not have any classification tool in it itself, but someone has developed, and you can always download and install those kind of plugins. So, and several plugins are available. So for that you have to go under plugin, manage and install plugin. So it will open. So these are the number of the plugins you have installed. So what I will do, I have already installed this quick map service. I will uninstall it first. So I'll show you how to install. So if you go on all, these all plugins are available. Large number of plugins are available. So you can search here, such as for classification, semi-automatic classification tool. You can click on this. You can install neural network classification. You can install those plugins and you can start using them. For an example, I will install a very small plugin such as quick map service. Basically plugin, you can add OpenStreet or another data as a base map. I'll show you how it works. So the message came, plugin installed successfully. Go under web, there is quick map survey. This is the plugin. If you go under OSM and you click on OSM standard, so now OSM data will come under the background. This is, so I'll switch off this. This is the OM standard. So if I zoom into anywhere, it will load the data. You can see, you can go on zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. You can see a lot of data is there. Similarly, a lot of plugins are available. Okay. Then basically these are the vector. A lot of geoprocessing tools are available. They are available here also, but you can access from here also. This is the raster tool, raster calculator. You can calculate NDVI, NDWI, so many indexes. You can do the raster math here. Projections, analysis. This is the database DB manager. If you have data inside the database, then you can do. So this is the basically the overview about the QGIS GUI, and you can also create map like print new layout. If you give any name here, you can create a map. Suppose you have created boundaries, so finally you have to create a map in JPEG or PDF format, so you can do that. So in the later part of the tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a map in the QGIS, that also. And there is this one is layer. Like from the browser you have added the data, from layer also you can add a data. Add layer means so many type of layer you can add. Vector data, raster data, delimited text layer means you can add any CSV. If you have latitude, longitude in CSV file, you can create a shapefile out of it. You can add those data from PostGIS. If you have data in the PostGIS, I'll show you in the later part how to do that, because I have PostGIS database installed on my system. So I will show you how to add data from there, how to add data from the basically from the WF service. If you know about the geo server and all, you can add WFS layer, you can add ArcGIS base map layer. So I'll show you all those things in the later part. So this part is basically about the GUI. I hope you have understood about the GUI. The next part, I will show you how to start working with the vector data. So now we have installed the QGIS and we have understood the layout of the QGIS, basically the graphic user interface. Now we're going to see how to start working with the vector data first. And then later on we will see how to start working with the raster data. So if you already have any vector data in your system, so there are two ways to add to this QGIS graphic user interface, either through this browser, as I already told you. Go to the drive, select the folder, and you can double click this, or you can drag this like this. So now you have data here. Or there is other way, you can go to the layer, go to add layer and select add vector layer. And you can go to your location. Select district and you can add. So now you have two layers, two vector layers, both are polygon. So this is basically when you have already some vector layer, but suppose you have some data, latitude, longitude data along with the attributes in the CSV file or in the text file or in this Excel file, then also you can create a vector data using that. So what you can do, suppose you can go on layer, add layer, and inside just click add delimited text layer, and you just go to the location. As I have this CSV file, open it, just select the file format, whether it is CSV file or any other custom delimiter you may be having, space delimited, tab delimited, so you can select comma, colon, so you can select that. But I have CSV, so I will select CSV, and you have to select whether the first record is your column name or not. So I have checked that. Then you have to select the geometry definitions. What is the latitude field? X, Y. Select the name of the Y field, and if you have elevation also, then you can select here. Then you have to select the projection, and you can, if you have some coordinates in some other projection, you can select here. You can type, suppose you have UTM projection, so you can select it from here, some other projection. And this is the basically overview of your data, so you can check whether data is coming correct or not. Then you can add. So as you can see, this is the point data, grid data. Zoom in, you can see this. So now what you can do, you can right click and you can export this as a shapefile. That your data will be exported to the, so I'll make it rainfall point 1. Select any format, but ESRI shapefile is the most popular format for the vector data. Select, and you will make it. So you can further remove the CSV file. So now you have 3 layers, 2 are polygon, 1 is point file here. Okay. Now second step is when you want to change the symbology, like these polygons, you want to change the color, you want to give the labels, you want to make it hollow. So what you can do, you can right click to the layer, go to the properties. So you will be able to see a lot of information here, such as information about the layer, where it has been saved, geometries, polygon, projection, extent, number of features, all are here. Then source. Symbology means how you want to basically to change the color, or you want to categorize based on some field. Like as you can see on the right, if you right click, there is an attribute table. So attribute link to each and every feature, just like in database, it's like a table. So you have this. So you can select here, so your feature will be highlighted there. Okay. Then select none. There are a lot of options are there. You can start editing. If you toggle editing, click this, you will be able to edit the attributes. Any attribute will be like this ID, you can change. Ask whether you want to save the item. I will discard it. So you can edit the attributes from here. So based on these attributes, give the colors. So we'll go on the symbology. If you want to change the color of all the polygons, just make it simple fill and give any color here. Then make it apply, so it will change the color. Or if you want to basically make it hollow, so you can select here, instead of sample fill, you can make it outline simple line. So you apply it. So this, now your district boundary is hollow right now. You can make it hashed like this. So already some you can make it like this. By default, few of the symbologies are here. You can always use that. Okay, you can make it using this. So there are n number of symbology you can do. So this is basically single symbol. You can make it categorized. Click on categorize. You can make it random colors. Just classify it. based on, you have to first select the attribute. Suppose I want to categorize based on the state name, then random colors, then classify. So it is classified, you can see it has given the different color. So what I will do, first I will change the symbol. I will make it a very simple color. Let me make it red. Okay, let me make a symbol. Now you apply it. So now you can see here it has given random colors to it. You can n number of times classify it. So it has basically classified your shapefile based on the attribute state name. So whatever districts are having same state, it will assign the single color to it. If you make it district, so it will create random colors for all the districts. So each and every district is having a different color now. So if you have any field, you can change the color of the district basically based on the attributes. You can switch on, switch off. So it will switch on, switch off the features here. Let me go back to the state. Okay. Let me make it black color. This only. Outline will be black only, yes. Classify. So now you can see. So if I want to suppose I'll switch off Haryana. So you can see this has been switched off. So you can switch off based on the colors. So this is how you can make your. Then there are others, graduated classify. You have to select the value first. Let me select ID rain. Then you can classify. So based on the value, it will give the colors. It has divided the ID values in 5 classes. You can increase the classes, equal count, equal interval, number of classes you can increase. So that's how you can categorize based on the values also. If you have some value field, suppose you have elevation value, population value, so you can divide, or you can give the manual also. You can add a class, you can modify these values, upper bound, lower bounds. So suppose you have any shapefile where the population or any data is there, so you can manually create the class and you can give the minimum and maximum value, then you can classify. No need to make, these are the basically automatic classes, but you can create manually also. So this is how this symbology works. Then second one is labels. Basically right now I have not labeled any feature, so you can go on label, you can go on single label. Suppose you select any feature, any attribute such as district, and on text you can select the size. As you can see now, each district is labeled with the district name. You can make a buffer out of a buffer, so it will make a buffer out, white color buffer. So by you can change the placement and all that thing. So by this you can basically give the attributes. You can label the feature with the attributes. Okay. If you want to switch off it, you can make it no labels. Apply it. So label will not be visible. You can change the field names. Just make it edit. Give any name. So using these properties, layer properties, you can give the colors, you can label, you can change the attribute, lot of things you can do here. Okay, this is about the basically you are playing with the layer properties, and you can export also. Suppose you have right click, open attribute table, you want to basically export particular the feature of particular state. So you can select suppose Haryana, you can select 3 4 5 feature just selected. You can right click here, export. There is option select feature as selected feature. So when you will export here, I'll make it test. Only selected feature will be exported. As you can see, only these number of feature has been exported. So you can export your basically your interest data which you are having interest in. There is a lot of options actually is there. Select by attribute. Here if you can see these 3 4 things are there, 3 4 tools are there. From here there is an option of select attributes for value. If you click here, you can select based on all the attributes. You can select equal to state HR. Based on that attributes, state name equal to HR. Like this, if you make if you select equal to, suppose I will make it greater than, okay, uh, select all the features having ID value greater than 10. So you can select your feature and then you can right click and export those features. So basically these are querying the features, and there is an option of querying. Let me clicking on this, you can unselect it. Then select. You can select all features. Then you can select feature by location also. Suppose you have 2 layers. I have 2 layers, India state and India district. So select feature from India district. Suppose Punjab, India district. I'll make it intersect India state. Selected feature only. You have to select here selected feature only. So we are selecting in features from India district shapefile, where it intersect the India state shapefile, and selected feature only. Basically, it will give the features intersected by the Punjab shapefile. This one. If you run, so it will highlight these features only, which are intersecting this boundary. Okay. So like this, you can do so many of the special query also. So this is basically by using by query by attributes, query by location. So this is basically the working, how you can start working with your data. Like you have rainfall points. So this also you can do. Suppose I'll select this is sorry. Let me switch off this first. This is my Rajasthan state, and I want to make a special query. Select feature from this rainfall point 1 which intersect the India state. Create selected feature only. So I want to highlight only this inside this, and I will click run. So as you can see, it has highlighted the feature inside which are intersecting the Rajasthan state. After that, I can export, save selected feature as, and you can make it, you can export it to a new shapefile. So if you see now, you are having the features intersecting this shapefile. So that's how you can do the various queries and export the data. About the shapefiles only. If you have data stored, vector data stored as a shapefile, you can do these kind of analysis. You can attribute, you change the attributes, like I have told you. Like you can toggle editing, so you can edit these features. Open, you can change the attributes like this, like this. You can change anything here, and after that you can either you want to save change or discard change. So you can edit the attributes also. But if you have data stored in some other place, such as remote server, remote database, remote geo server, remote other servers, so what you can do, You can go for layer, add layer. You have so many options. Raster layer will I'll tell you in the later part of this tutorial about raster data. This I have already told you, delimited text layer. Now if you want to add PostGIS layer, if you have data stored in any database, these are database: PostGIS, SQLite, MySQL, DB2, Oracle. These are basically database. So I have installed PostGIS on my system. This is PostGIS. These two shapefiles are there in the database. So I'll show you how to add that. If you have your shapefiles or geographic data in the database, so I'll click on add PostGIS layer. You have to create a new connection. Click new, name. You can give any name and just give the host. It is host means the local machine. If you have installed it somewhere remote server, you can give the IP of that. Then port number, by default it is 5432, but I have installed it on 5433. Then you have to give the database name. The name of the database, I know it is India. And then just I'll make it okay. It will ask the username and password to access the database. While installing, you have to give this username password. Okay. Now if you go click on connect, you'll see the two schemas. Under public schema there are two layers. So I'll take Indian district and I will add. So now you can see this district layer is coming from the database. So now you can do the same thing. You can do the editing, you can export, you can change the color, anything you can do. You can play with this data. Now another way, if you want to add data from some other source such as WMS data. This is regarding the services. If you have access to the WMS service, if you know about the GIS server such as GeoServer, Map Server, you must be knowing about the different services WMS, WFS. Otherwise, you can go to my another tutorial, GeoServer. You can see what is this WMS and WFS service. WMS is basically the tile-based services. Geographic data is rendered in the PNG and JPEG tiles. Georeference PNG or JPEG tiles only. So actual feature is not there, only the snapshot of those tiles are there. And WFS in actual service is there. Suppose you want to access the data inside the any GIS server. So you create new, give any name such as I give GeoServer. Then you have to give the URL. So I have already GeoServer installed on my PC. So just give localhost, your port number where you have installed GeoServer slash WMS. So this is WMS service. Now you just give the username and password. So I will give admin and whatever is your password. So now click on connect. Oh, I think I have given some wrong name here. GeoServer. Okay, this is HTTPS. Now make it connect. So now it is connecting to the GeoServer. These are number of layers are there. So I will show you after adding one layer. Suppose top states. You will add. So this layer has been added here. As you can see, right click and if you click on zoom to layer, this is the layer coming from GeoServer. If you want to add some other layer, you can click them, just add it, and you just zoom to layer. So you will be able to. I'll add some other layer such as Tasmania state. Okay. Okay. Now, so this is basically the dem file. Then this is state boundary. If you zoom to layer, so these all are coming from the GeoServer. If you see here, I can show you the same layer inside the GeoServer also. These all are layer are published inside the GeoServer, like this USA population. The same layer, I'm able to see here. Let me go to zoom to layer. See. So this is the basically how you access the WMS service. Now another service you can access is WFS service. So layer add. There's a service called WFS here. So let me remove this. I'll show you how to add new service. New, give any name. I'll give it GeoServer 1. Then again HTTP localhost port number, then GeoServer WFS, because right now we are utilizing WFS service, and give the username, password, make it okay, and if you connect. So earlier in WMS, this is all only the, whether it is vector data or raster data, only the georeference PNG tiles are coming, not actual feature it is fetching. But in case of WFS, actual feature will be coming. Like if I add WFS same layer, I'll add it. So now you can see here. WFS actual feature it is fetching. Okay. So now you can do the editing and everything to this layer. The same, the editing and everything will be saved. Like suppose I will do open attribute table. Let me open it. Start editing. I can change the name here. It will save the changes. So the data is changed in the GIS server also. So now Illinois value has been changed. Similarly, if I want to change any other attribute, name has been changed. So this change will be affected here. So now you can see Illinois state, the value has been changed. So you can, if you have data inside the geo server in some remote server, so you can access through QGIS and you can change anything. Okay. And because this geo server is used for basically web GIS. So suppose you have web GIS and you want to change some feature, so you can change it using the QGIS and it will be reflected to your client or wherever a person is accessing that layer. So this is a very good way. Otherwise on the web, editing is possible on the WebGIS also, but if you don't have that feature in the WebGIS, you can change the layer by accessing like here, and it will be reflected in the WebGIS. Then another layer you can add from ArcGIS server. I'll show you map service, this server layer, ArcGIS server. I have this link. I will give this link in the basically the description, so you can access this. You can add ESRI layer. So as you can see now, this ESRI base map layer has been added, and you can basically overlay any layer above this. You can see this. Your layer has been overlaid. So this is the ESRI layer. You can zoom it to any layer, so it will load. You can basically, using this, you can digitize roads and farms and plots, cities, houses. So in the next part of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create your own vector data, how to digitize. So if you zoom further, you can see each and every field also. So very high resolution base map is there. So you can add this layer and you can basically overlay your data over this. You can see the buildings and everything, roads. So you can add the ESRI base map in the QGIS, and you can work on your data. You can create your own data. This is for whole world, I think. You can go to any place. You can zoom to any place. You need to have a good internet connection only. Otherwise, in the earlier part of this video, I'll already show you quick map services. You can always add the OSM layer. OSM data also you can add. See, so you have OSM data, vector data, and you have high resolution satellite imagery. So you have both the things with you. Let's see here. This is OSM data. So like this. So what I'll do, I'll remove layer from this, and now we'll move it to the. So now, as we have seen how to start working with the vector data, now we'll see how to start working with the raster data in the QGIS. So in the earlier part, we have seen how to add the vector data, means point, line, polygon, shape files, or any and the geographic data in the from the database, from WFS server and WMS server. Now we will see how to start working with the raster data. So I have already some data inside my QGIS tutorial folder, so I can add from here also, like add raster layer. So you just go to your location as I have in the raster data, and this layer can be in n number of format. These all are the format QGIS support: GeoTIFF, IMG, ESRI grid, so many basically formats are there. So I have in GeoTIFF format. This is Sentinel-2 data of Fatehabad district. So as you can see, it looks like this is true color composite. Like green is vegetation, this is urban area, this is road, canals. So while making, I can make is the false color composite. Like I have extracted only 4 bands from the Sentinel-2 data. So fourth one is the NIR. I will pass it to the red band, then third band to the green, and second band to the basically NIR band to the red band to the green filter, and green band to the blue filter. And I will apply it. So my vegetation will start looking like red because NIR band has the highest reflectance for the vegetation. So that's why your vegetation is looking like red, because I have passed it to the red filter. And this blue is water is looking like blue. This is urban area. Cloud will look like white because cloud will have the similar kind of reflectance, high reflectance in all the bands. So you can change the multicolor. If you want to see only one single band, you select all the bands, or otherwise you can make it a single gray band. You select band 1, so you will be able to see the single band only. Band 2, band 3, make it band 4. So you can basically change the, you can also do the contrast enhancement, like here, maybe no enhancement, okay, stretch to min max. So you can do the various enhancement from here. Click to, when there's here also cumulative, these are enhancement you can do. Standard deviation, so let it be like stretch to min max only. Okay, so I will make it multi-band color. I will pass the fourth NIR band to the red band to the green, and green band to the blue. So it is now false color composite. This is my satellite image. So that's how you can change the different band combinations. And you can, if you will give opposite, like let me give 1, 2, 3, so it will look like some different. If I do 2, 3, 4, that's how you can change the different combinations. Now, and I have passed the NIR band to the blue filter. That's why your all vegetation is looking like blue, because NIR and in NIR band vegetation reflectance is very high. So in remote sensing, basically this is the standard FCC. NIR through red band to green band, and green band to the blue channel. So you can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can click here. You'll be able to see the values in each of the band. As you can see, the fourth band is having the highest value for the vegetation. Okay. Now I have another layer, raster layer called NDVI. If you are from the remote sensing background, you must be knowing what is normalized difference vegetation index. So you can add here. So it's a grayscale image. Basically, wherever the vegetation is, the value of the NDVI is between -1 to 1. It is the basically normalized difference vegetation index. So value between the -1 and 1. 1 means the highest vegetation, -1 means the no vegetation. 0 below 0 basically water is there. So as you can see, the urban areas are black and this vegetation is white. This is cloud. So I can give the, you can give the color to this also. You can click on the right color. You just select here a single band pseudo color, and you can give the color here. You just select the color ramp. Okay, I will select this one, apply. So now you can see this, these are the high vegetation, this is the urban area. So you can give the colors like this. You can change the colors. You can give the green also. Let me choose some other. This is one. This is the red to green. So more green means NDI value is high. As you can see, urban areas are having less NDVI. Just click here. You click on this. NDVI value is 0.71. Urban areas 0.18. So you can create these NDVI image from the data using the raster calculator. If you go on the raster, there is option called raster calculator. So you have these number of bands, 1 2 3 4. So what you can do, NDVI formula, suppose let me start with the bracket, band 4 NIR minus red bracket, let me close the bracket, divided by, again I will start with this bracket, NIR plus R bracket, close. Okay, so now I just give the output layer name here. I'll make it NDVI underscore 1 diff file, and you just click OK. So now it is calculating the raster expression. So you can do the raster math. You can add two layers, you can divide two layers, you can minus two layers. So any raster math you can do. I have just shown you how to calculate NDVI. You can calculate the LSWI, NDWI, NDVI. A lot of indexes are there. So this is NDVI one image. Just calculated. It is grayscale. You can go on properties and you can again give the color to it. Pseudo color, and this is the ramp. You can classify. You can apply the ramp. So you have to first click the classify, then apply the ramp, and OK. So now you can see you have the NDVI. You have calculated the NDVI data. So that's how you can start working with the raster data. There is some other very good plugin also, like let me show you one value, I think value tool. That is a very good plugin you can install. This is a very good tool. You can even see the profile of the raster data here. So in the matter of, I think, seconds, it will download and install this plugin. The value tool, it has come here. Let me make it here. So now if you go on graph, see, wherever I'm moving the cursor, it is showing me the profile of, this is for here, this is for urban area, this is for shadow. So if you have n number of bands, and here it will show you the values of the band. So this is a very good tool. Okay, if you open one NDVI, so it will give you a single point because it's a single band. Okay, so like this you can see the values of the raster data. So that's how you can start working with the raster data, and further you can do a lot of things, such as you can clip the raster by the extent, by the mask layer. Like I have clipped this raster using one shapefile only. So you can go here, raster, extract mask layer. You can give the you can select your layer, mask layer. You can give the shapefile here, and you can make it you can export. It will mask the basically your raster data to the particular extent of that shapefile. Georeference, a lot of analysis are there. You can go through and you can basically start working with this. You can merge basically. You can stack the, if you have different bands, you can stack those bands into one. You can make a multi-band raster dataset from the single band datasets. So basically this is about the working with the raster dataset. You can start working, then you can, this is for the very basically the beginner GIS user only. For the advanced one, I will make a separate tutorials how to do the analysis using raster. So now we have seen how to work with the raster data, how to open the raster data, how to open the vector data, how to play with the vector data. Now I will show you how to create a new vector data. So in this there is an option called layer. One is add layer, then another one is create layer. You can go on create new shapefile, and you have to give the name of the shapefile. So suppose I will give polygon. So there are 3 points, as I already told you, 3 types of vector data: point, line, and polygon. So we will create point, line, and polygon, all 3 data sets. So first I will create polygon. Save it. Select the geometry type polygon. This is the EPSG4326. We'll use the default one. Then you can create the number of fields. So you can give any, such as I will give name. I will make it text data. Add to field list. Then second, let me give FID. Let me make it whole number. Add to field. So you can create n number of attributes attached to the particular shapefile and make it okay. So now you can see test polygon shapefile has been created. So before digitizing, what I will do, I will add one raster layer from which we will digitize. So I will add the same raster data which I have shown you in the earlier part of this tutorial. Okay. Yes, this is. I will make it the false color composite, and I will zoom it. Okay, I will zoom it somewhere here. So I'll show you how to make a polygon. You can make polygon to houses, farms, or anything, buildings. So for creating polygon, just make it over here. Click on this here, test polygon. Then here you have, first of all, you have to see under the toolbars, digitizing toolbar should be checked on, and also the snapping toolbar should be uh, switched on. And you can switch on shape digitizing toolbar also. So just click here. There is this is basically called toggle editing. Either you can click on this, or otherwise you can right click here. You can do toggle editing. Both will work. Okay, either right click, either click here. After that, what you have to do, here there is an option called add polygon feature. Just click on this and you can start creating the polygon. Such as I want to create, click, 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 and after that, just in the end, click right click. So now it will ask for the attributes. You can give the attributes as you want. I will write farm 1. Any FID, I'll give it 1. Make it okay. So one polygon, you have created one polygon. Now suppose you want to create another polygon. There is we have create you have to, if you want to create another polygon, just click here and you can start digitizing another polygon. And this snapping toolbar which we have used, if you create this enable snapping, what it will do, suppose I want to create here another polygon, so I start create this this so in the neighborhood in the neighbor polygon, it will automatically snap to that, like as you can see here. Automatically it will snap. Eh, it will snap to this. It will snap to this. So there will be no gap between this polygon and the adjacent polygon. That's why snapping should be on. Okay. You can give any ID to no gap between these two polygons. So we have used snapping here. Okay. So this another, if you want to create rectangle and any other shape, so this basically, that's why I have used this also. There is toolbar called this shape digitizing toolbar. If you want to create rectangle, any circle from the 2 points, so this is by default shapes are there, but hardly we will use this because exact rectangle shapes are very impossible to get in the real world. So suppose I want to create another, we'll create another one. So click add feature. So you can see snapping. By automatically it is going to this point. Snap, 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 right click. Make it okay. So it has snapped all the features. So now if you go on the open attribute table, so you have 3 features. You can anytime you can give value from here also. Now if you want to save the feature, you just either current edit, you can click here, save for the selected layer. So it will save the, and if you click here toggle editing, so it will, now layer is not editable. So you have created one polygon layer. Now suppose if you want to create another layer, so just go layer, create layer, new shapefile. We will create now type of shape is line string. And field, you can give any field name, add to field, any field, another FID, and number of fields you can give, that depends on you. So let me go somewhere else. So here, suppose I want to, here I want to create, just click here, start toggle editing, and this one, add line feature. I have snapping is on. So what I will do, I will change the basically yellow, so it will be visible properly. Let me go for so now you will be able to see the color, or you can select from here, like here, anything. You can see the red color, you can see this color also here. You can make it this one. By default you can select symbol, or otherwise you can give the colors. Actually I want to create standard color such as yellow or green. Let me yes, this is the yellow one. I'll make it a bit bold. So now you are able to see. Another I will start snapping, so it will start from this point only. So you can see that's how you can basically digitize any polyline. So again you can save it from here, save edit, and you can toggle editing, so it will save this. So now you have generated a polyline. Now another layer will create point layer. Create layer, new shapefile layer. The name point, we'll select it, multi-point, give name like before name, add field. Change the symbol of this first. You can give, suppose I'll give from here. So now for creating the point, click here. First toggle editing, start editing, then click here. You can click anywhere. You can start editing, you can create points. Okay. And you can, after that you can, this is save layer edits, either this, or you can save here, then stop editing. So now you have polygon, point and line. So that's how you can generate point, line and polygon. These are the polygons. Okay. So now what we have learned, basically how to create your own data. If you have any old maps, you can create the roads out of it. You can digitize the contours, and then you can create the DEM from that. So you can create your own data like this. So in the next part, what we will see, now we have generated the NDVI, this polygon and point and line. Now we'll see how to compose a map, how to export a map as a PDF or JPEG. Okay. So now, as we have learned in this tutorial how to work with the raster data, vector data, how to create vector data. Now in the final segment we will see how to compose a map, how to create a map in the QGIS. So for that, first we will add one of the layer, raster layer, which we have created. I will add the NDVI image. Okay, so this is the image, NDVI image. Will give some colors to it. So this is the NDVI image. So now for composing the map, what one has to do, there is one option called new print layout. Just click here, give any name. Let me give Fateha, any name. Okay, this is the basically print layout. So now adding this NDVI image to your map layout, what you have to do, there is an option called add map. You click here, draw it. So in that area, this NDVI image will come up. So whatever data will be there in the QGIS, it will come here. If you have 10 layers, so 10 layer will come there. But we have already one NDVI layer, so that's why only NDVI layer come here. Now one by one we will add the different components, such as legend. This is called legend. Click add legend, make it this. You can change the properties of the legend, like if you click here, instead of auto update, you can change the name here, NDVI image. It will update here. Okay, you can change the fonts also here. There is option for fonts. Color also, you can change the color. Suppose you want to give red color, you can make it red. I will let it black only, so I am just showing you. You can change the fonts from here. Different font you can give. After that you can lock it. If you lock it, you will not be able to move it now. Then one can add scale. Just click here, and this you can lock scale bar. The scale bar you will not be able to move. You can add north arrow. Just click here, north arrow, draw it. Sorry, this is north arrow. So north arrow will be, sorry, added here. You can add the title. There will be option of label here. Add label. Draw it here. So you can give any name. Like I will give you can change the font size. Let me give it 18. I will make it bold. So now this is your, these are the basic elements you have added. Now you just click on frame. Page properties, you can change the size of this. Like right now it will export in the A4 size of the image or PDF. You can make it A0 or any size in which you want to take a printout. So I'll make it A4 only. Go on, you just right click on this and go to item properties. So you can give a frame to it, like this is the frame. Now you have frame outside this. So now you can export this as a PDF. Desktop, you can give any name. So this is your, it has been exported as PDF. You can export it as a image also. Okay, now if you want to add one more thing, like you click here, go on item properties. If you want to add grids, so you can add grids also. Just go on grids, click add grid 1, click modify grid. You can give the spacing. Let me give 10,000. Okay, grid spacing. You can give the line style also. Let me give dashed. Also grid type, you can give cross markers like this. Okay, so you can, after that you can save this project. layout will be saved for you. Next time when you will open, this default layout will open like this. Again, export PDF. Let me give test one. So this is with the grids. Okay. So this is how you can add the grids. Let me give solid only. Let me show you how it will look if we'll export it as a PDF. You can always reduce the width of this grids also, like it is this width also you can reduce. All three maps in front of you, you have in front of you. That's how you can modify the map. So this is for raster data, how you can make a map of raster data and you can export it. So now what we will do, I will show you how to create a map of vector data if you have vector layers. I will delete all these things. Okay, I will unlock it first. What I will do, I will remove this layer from here and I will add a vector layer. After that, I will go on properties. I will first give some style to it, like categorized based on state name. I will give random colors, classify, and I will make it okay. So like this you have. Now I will add again this add map. Okay. So now you have your shapefile here. Okay. Now what you can do, you can again add the scale bar. You can lock it if you want. You can add the north arrow. Okay, and you can add the legend. Now if you see the legend is so many legends are there. It is not fitting on one page. So what you can do, just click here. So properties will come up. What you can do, you can make it column, make it 2 column like this. But still it is not coming. So what you can do, you can go on font. You can reduce the font of this, make it 8, or let me make it, I think 9 would be fine. Okay, still it is not, yeah, it is coming, but what you can do, you can further change the symbol width. You can make it 6, you can height also, you can make it 3. So now you are able to fit it. Also you can, instead of auto update, you can change the name, like here I will give you can click here, you can give grids as I already told you, or you can give frames. So you can save this project, and after that you can export it as a PDF. So now you have a map like this. Also one more thing you can add, I forgot to mention, you can add attribute table. like this. If you have very small attribute table, so it will add the attribute table also here. Okay. You can give the maximum rows, you can give 10, like this. You can filter the, you can select attributes, only suppose 2 attributes you want, like this. So attribute, I will delete this, but only I want to show you that if you want to add attribute also, then you can add that also. So this is how basically you can export, you can make a map and export image on PDF to it. So guys, that's it from this video. Give a thumbs up to this video if you like it. Do subscribe this channel and press the bell icon also, so you'll get the notification when I will upload the next video. So this is the very basic, this was very basic tutorial for the QGIS for the newbie. If some person is new in GIS and just started using the QGIS, so this tutorial is for very for the beginners only. For the advanced one, and later on I will upload some videos how to use the QGIS for image classification, for clipping the rasters, for layer stacking, and basically for the advanced analysis. So thank you guys, thanks for watching this video.